And we are live.
Here we go. If you have not heard already, we got two very special guests in studio with us today. They don't need any introduction. You know, they're famous around here at Spirit Live. Zach Finch, Jackson Farough, the Finch and the Farough. You guys want to say anything? Introduce yourselves a bit.
Glad to be here, man. Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about a lot of stuff. Got NFL, hockey, so excited to talk about it with you guys.
Nice little crossover episode here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So we're going to start off with something a little different, not related to sports, because this morning, the Avengers Endgame
It feels like Infinity War. It's like Infinity War Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
got another trailer got released. We all haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
So if you want to watch it, you can watch the video feed on Spirit Live. We're going to be streaming the trailer live on air. It will look really weird, like really glitchy, and it's not going to get the full effect, but you get enough of it that I think you probably will understand.
Yeah. It's something.
Or
you know
just
what I
watch
mean?
it on YouTube later, or listen to the audio.
One of the two.
Or just enjoy our commentary.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to click the
Oh, geez. I'm so excited for
Me
this.
too, man.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
hyped for this. All right, let's go.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave. Became Iron Man.
Damn, I like
Whoa.
that.
Oh, Jackson, you didn't see Captain Marvel yet. How do you feel
No,
about that ending?
I mean, listen, I don't really know what to think because I haven't seen it. But hey, I mean, I'm really excited nonetheless. I always get excited this time of year for Marvel movies when they come around, and especially, you know, I love the acting in the whole Avengers series, right? I mean, just you've got Iron Man, Robert Downey. Now you got Paul Rudd. Now you got Chris Evans too. He's been around for a while. Scarlett Johansson. I mean, there's some good acting.
Yeah, Brie Larson, didn't she win an Oscar?
Brie Larson's
she
great
did.
too.
Yeah, she was amazing in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought like the movie itself, Captain Marvel, was just like your typical Marvel movie, like nothing too special, but it wasn't bad. Like it was still a great movie. But I think like just in comparison to Infinity War and what Endgame should be, it's like, oh.
I agree, because like when I watched Captain Marvel, it wasn't like your ideal superhero kind of movie. It's not like Iron Man. It's more of like a story base, but Marvel had to do that in order to introduce the character.
Exactly.
The thing that caught my eye throughout the trailer was they didn't show much of footage that I think will be used in the actual movie. They showed a lot of like flashbacks.
Which is smart.
That's really
Yeah,
smart.
it's good. It's really smart as well. At the end, they did start to show a bit more of footage from the movie, I would think. And I think what also caught my eye at the end, I think Nebula. I saw Nebula at the very end there walking with the Avengers inside Avengers headquarters. So she makes it back.
Which
Somehow.
probably means Tony makes it back too.
Well, we
yeah,
didn't see
Tony-
him. We don't know.
Well, if she gets back, he has to get back because they're both on the same ship.
You would think so. But why wouldn't we see Tony then?
I don't know.
I
Also,
don't
like they also didn't show Captain Marvel like other than the post credits, and you think like you would see her in that suit as well. So also they CGI'd a bunch of stuff out of the Infinity War trailer to not spoil things. So maybe they're doing the same thing here.
Probably.
Yeah.
But those suits though,
They
Yeah.
looked good.
Yeah. A little bit, a little different
clean,
there.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess we should probably get into this actual sports
Yeah.
as opposed to
Great trailer.
Yeah, great trailer.
insanely good trailer.
Cannot
Marvel,
wait.
Marvel always overachieves, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
So I guess we want to start off with Leafs and hockey because played last night. Hyman out, Captain out. They lost, what do you guys think? Like, what did you think of that game?
Well, for me, tough start. Again, I didn't get to watch the game. I was here doing stuff. But you look at the Leafs in 6, you look at the stats. It's very clear. Tough start. And Babcock always talks about, well, we got to start on time. We got to start on time. They didn't start on time. In fact, they started 40 minutes late, right? In reality. Now, 30 shots in the third period. You like that.
Damn. Yeah.
47 shots in total for the game. They outshot the Hawks.
That was the 8th time in history
Yeah.
a team's gotten 30 shots in a
That's
period.
crazy.
So you wonder what the hell happened to that second intermission, to get these guys playing in the third, right?
Oh yeah.
Goalie change.
yep.
Got to take that into
Absolutely.
consideration.
Goalie change, and maybe the guys were fighting for Anderson.
Anderson and I was talking about D'Elia coming into the game in the third.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks switched their goalies.
Right, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if that kind of gave the Leafs a bit of a boost, knowing that, okay,
Absolutely.
this guy in net, he's not very good. We can take advantage of him. And
Yeah, he let in some rough ones.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Tavares goal.
Yeah.
How do you
yeah, I
let
don't know.
that
You
in?
got to hug the post on that one for
Yeah.
sure.
Even Matthews' goal was a weird deflection that went in.
Yeah,
Most of the
Dylan
goals
Strome.
were weird. Like the first goal on Anderson was like kind of deflected. Couple defensive breakdowns. I don't think any goal was particularly like outstanding, like an individual effort. I think a lot of it came down to the defensive aspect of the game. Like defense goalie, that was lacking because a lot of goals could have just been solved by an easy save or better defensive play.
Yeah, and you look at the last 2 minutes of that game. The Blackhawks goalie, what's his name? D'Elia? The
Yeah,
backup?
D'Elia,
Yeah.
D'Elia,
He was horrible. I mean, he looked like he was freaking out.
He was
You know,
crapping his pants.
He was crapping his pants. You could tell he was not ready for the moment. He had no idea he was going to be playing, to be fair.
He pushed the post off at the end of the game.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
what's
what
all
the
that
heck?
about?
Like, yeah, that should be a penalty.
No
Delay a
kidding,
game,
eh?
bud.
That was my first reaction to it.
What do you guys think about that?
It wasn't a penalty because he didn't know it was off, right?
No, okay. Honestly, if you look at the replay again, he went back into position like he didn't think the net was off. You could see as soon as he left the post, he saw it was off. What goalie would get right back into position like that? I think he was faking it. I think he was acting.
I don't know if he's that good of an actor, but okay.
He just got back into position though. He didn't I think he pushed it off for sure.
It also might be like how you interpret the rule. Like, is it like strict? Like, if the goalie knocks it off, then it's a penalty, or do you have that leeway? It's kind of like, do you honor the rule, or do you go by the words in the book?
It
think-
happened last year.
The rule is it has to be intentionally pushed off for it to be a penalty, and I don't think
What's intentional, right? That's the
like
that's-
when Henrik Lundqvist
I
turned
guess.
around and just
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
uppercut the crossbar.
It also happened last year. Penguins Rangers again. It was, or was it this year? I don't know. It was Gorgiev, the guy who got a shutout against the Leafs.
Yeah, Alexander Guerrero.
Oh yeah,
it,
him.
It was tied like 3-3 with 4 seconds left in the third. Penguins had so much pressure. He pushes the post off. Don't know if it was intentional or not. Malkin was awarded a penalty shot with 4 seconds left in
Yeah.
the game.
If it's with 2 minutes left in the game, they give you a penalty shot.
Did he score?
Oh
it, though?
really? No, I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
Damn. That's tough. Well, I wholeheartedly agree. Hey, maybe here's an idea. Maybe like Corey Crawford, he's a veteran, right? On the bench. Maybe he, during a TV timeout or something, he was like, listen, I can tell you're starting to freak out. Maybe just,
Push the net off.
accidentally on purpose, push the net off, save yourself. Because the Leafs they were flying there.
The last 2 minutes are probably the
Yeah.
most exciting bit of hockey I've watched all season. The goalie was on his back the entire time. Leafs were just peppering them in
Didn't have a
shots.
stick.
Yeah, he didn't have a
Yeah.
stick. He was just up, like looking around the whole time. Whew,
It
man.
reminded me a lot of a World Juniors game. I was
Yeah.
saying that yesterday while watching it. It was like one of those epic Canada-Russia games where
Oh,
Russia would
yeah.
come back or Canada would come back. And yeah, I couldn't sit down while watching the final 2 minutes of that game. I was just standing on my feet and I was screaming. I was like, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah, I know. Even like
so, yeah.
so
at the end,
intense.
like Kadri's wide open in the slot for a deflection.
Matthews
It's
had a
like-
couple chances late.
Yeah, like
Yep.
man,
God, that Kadri, he had so much time.
Yeah.
And he blew it.
Yep.
But that's kind
Oh.
of what I would do too. I would just
it's like
kinda,
in the
deflect it.
moment you're like, just.
But
get it
here's
on
the
net.
thing: how about don't go down 5-0 in the first or 4-0 in the first? So you don't have to worry
Yes.
about it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
right?
Very good
'Cause-
point.
Because yeah, when that happened, I was telling Conor like, "Okay, I'm gonna go off on the podcast tomorrow."
Yeah, you're
Like,
ready to go.
4-0 in the first and then 5-0 early in the second. Like these guys, 2 games in a row, bad starts. That's unacceptable, especially this late in the season when Boston is winning every single game.
Yeah, and what I said to him in return is, the guys are sick, right? They all have the flu.
Yeah.
Like Hyman, it's so bad he couldn't even play. I'd imagine there are more guys on the team who were in the same boat.
Right.
So I gave him a pass, but then that third period kind of changed my mind.
Yeah, they don't
That
have
was-
the flu. I don't think they got the flu.
I think they have the flu. I just don't think it's affecting them as badly as it looked
Yeah.
in the first 2 periods.
Yeah, yep.
It's like warming up. I guess like when you're sick, it might just take a little
They
while to
all
get into
they
the
all
swing of things.
they all took a cold FX at the
Oh,
second
yeah.
intermission and just started playing. I mean, yeah, it's that was tough. The tough start for me really got it because you can't do that in playoffs, right? Let's say you're in Game 4 against Boston, in Boston. Let's say you do that. Oh, I mean,
Look
that's
at
in your
Game
head,
7 last year.
right? Game 7 last year. That was a collapse too, and
Yeah.
you hate to see it, especially in back-to-back games, right? The
It
game
really
against
comes-
Tampa was tough too.
Oh yeah, the game against Tampa that
Yeah.
was pretty bad. This one was worse though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
It's almost like you'd rather see them just get blown out as like a statement so they can pick it up because they came close and still lost. So the result's the same. It's just like now they probably feel so defeated. Like, oh, we came so close and we couldn't get it done. You know, Chicago's like a 500 team, if not a little worse than that. You should come out with a win, and couldn't get it done. It almost would have been better if they just got blown out, wake them up a little bit.
I was thinking that at the beginning too. Like, hopefully they just get whacked like 8-0, and then like they can finally notice that okay, we gotta smarten up. And
Can't be doing that.
It's unacceptable with this team and how talented they are. And I know I was listening to Matthews at the end of the game as well. In his interviews, he was saying that okay, we have the potential to play like that in the third period for a full 60 minutes. Why aren't we doing that? We got to figure it out. It's ridiculous. It's been going on all year, these slow starts. And Babcock keeps saying like for whatever reason we can't get off to a good start. Figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, but they got to figure it out.
Absolutely. Sorry to cut you off, Conor, but I think one point too that's interesting is that this is the 15th time they've won in the last 21 games.
Is it
the
really?
Blackhawks? Yeah. So they're
Oh, the Blackhawks. Okay.
they're in a crazy streak right now, and you look at obviously they played Tampa, same thing, right? So they ran into two hot teams here. I think that's one interesting point that should probably be mentioned in this whole thing is absolutely they've gotten off to bad starts, but man, they've played some hot teams.
You're gonna have to play hot teams in the playoffs regardless.
That's the thing.
And so far, if you're looking at teams like the past two games they've played, they haven't matched up to them. So might be a little worrying for Toronto, especially that it's geared up to be Boston in the first round. So you want to play against those top caliber teams, and so far they're 0-2.
Boston Bruins are the hottest team in hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so get used to it.
So there's that.
Right?
Yeah.
They also play Tampa Bay later on, second last game of the season. That's going to be a huge test. And then they play Montreal as well, so that's going to be big as well. So I like how they have two tough teams heading into that series against Boston. It's definitely going to get them prepared.
Yeah, prime them.
They got I think they got 12 games or 11 games. 12 games left. They got to win. They got to win, and they got to go on a streak. They got to get hot because Boston, I don't think they're slowing down.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Boston scares me.
They got 12 games left. Doubleheader Friday, Saturday. Got Philly on Friday night and Ottawa on Saturday. Who do you start in those games?
So here's the thing, right? Me and Zach, we've gone back and forth about the starting goalies.
I listened to you guys last week, yeah.
You got to give... I mean, listen, when Sparks was in the net, last night they played better, right? That's all I'm saying. So maybe who do you give? Because who do you like more, Philadelphia or Ottawa? Who's the tougher team? Probably Philly, right?
Philly.
Yeah,
definitely.
Ottawa is the worst team in the
Exactly.
league by a country mile.
So then do you guarantee the 2 points against Ottawa with Anderson, or do you give Sparks that game against Ottawa on a Saturday night?
I think you play Freddie against Ottawa.
Yeah.
If you don't play Anderson against Philly, I think it lowers his confidence a lot.
I don't think so. I think you should just get a really good game behind him. A game where he gets a shutout.
He needs a bounce back game against a crappy team.
He's been pulled in back-to-back games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he hasn't been playing well recently because he's too tired? Does he need rest?
I think it's a mental thing.
I hope it's not that, because the entire year they've been talking, people have been asking Babcock, so like you're going to rest Anderson? What's the deal with Anderson? People have been talking about it on all over sports radio, and the whole idea is, no, he's fine. We're getting him ready for the playoffs. We know what we're doing here. I hope he's not tired, because that would say a lot about the trust that I would have with Babcock personally, and the trust that I would have with the whole organization, because if you're running your goalie out here with 12 games left and he's tired and you're losing against good, hot teams, well, Chicago's not a good team, but they're a hot team. I don't like that.
Also, if you think about it, Anderson is a very streaky goalie. He's better a lot more than he is not as good, but he does have up and downs. Like there's the whole Freddie Anderson in October. He's always a little slower of a start, and he always has those little blips throughout the season. So maybe it's just one of those blips that he has. Hopefully it is for Leafs Nation, because you want to see him pick it up again. But I'm hoping it's just a little blip and he gets back on it. Just 2 bad games, unlucky, move on.
I think it's a blip.
But yeah, I hope it's not.
He's probably
management.
sick, as we've been talking about this entire show.
I mean,
Right.
he's been playing well. He's been bailing them out all season long.
He's been bailing him up for 3 seasons at this point.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, if they don't have Frederick Anderson, where would they be? He's their MVP.
They'd have James Reimer still on net.
Yeah. They're the 2013 Leafs is what they are, right?
That's what the first period reminded me of, though.
No kidding.
They were so bad. I was just like, okay, these are the same old Leafs. It's 4-0 in the first period. They're showing no effort. It actually came to my mind like this is not the Matthews era Leafs team. Also, you can't blame Anderson for all the goals. That's the thing too. Positioning was really bad, especially on that Brandon Saad goal.
Yeah, that first goal was rough. He should have had
the
that.
first goal.
Yeah.
The first one he should have had.
The first one was deflected a little bit, so like you understand it, but as
between his legs.
yeah,
It
was
just
between his-
went
he should've-
through, though.
Yeah, it just squeaked through.
I would give him that one if the Perlini goal didn't happen. I didn't like the Perlini goal personally.
Yeah, they were talking about it on the
I didn't love
broadcast. Apparently, it's tough for a goalie to move his glove hand down.
Yeah.
But also like, you got to stop the puck. It's from where the top of the circle he shot that.
Yeah,
and
it
like,
was- yeah.
yeah.
and like Zach knows this. We played baseball. You got to move your body as well. You
Yeah.
can't just move your glove like they say in baseball. Like
You
get
got
your body in front of the
block
ball.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you like get in front of it.
You gotta
like-
square up to it. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't. I completely agree. And here's the thing, right? We know what Freddie is, right? He's built enough cachet in the city, right? We have a pretty good understanding of how good he is. But I mean, it reminded me a little bit of last year, Game 7 versus Boston. He looked a little bit lost. Now there was other factors coming into that, but there were a couple tough goals in that one and last night as well. I don't want to see it. I'm hoping it's a blip. You're right, Connor. I think he very well could be sick.
And if you're a goalie and sick and you have like headaches,
Yeah.
that automatically ruins your focus, right?
And that would
Yeah.
explain that Perlini goal too, right? Just not quite moving, not quite there with the play, right? Absolutely.
Okay. From one great goalie to another, Carey Price. 315 wins. Is he? I believe he's first all time
Correct.
for
Yeah,
the Habs.
Past Jacques Plante.
And he's just starting an 8-year contract. He's
Just
gonna
like-
have 500 wins with the Habs.
Yeah, man, that's quite the story. Because the Habs is such obviously a deep franchise. 24 Cup wins, one of the first NHL teams to be established, and a guy like Jacques Plante, you're going so far back as to the guy who invented the mask. Like, that's a huge accomplishment. All these guys, all these years, all this success you've seen on this team, and Carey Price just chilling out there in first place. Never won a cup because he can't get forwards to support him. But he's just solid on the back end, man. What can you say? He's calm in the crease. Nothing we haven't heard before. He's just a stud.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about with him is injuries, because he's
Of course, yeah.
all
Who's-
those lower
Who's got
body
the record,
stuff.
Jackson?
Martin Brodeur, 691. Next closest guy is Patrick Waugh with 551 career wins.
551.
So there is a huge gap there. And then Roberto Luongo, 485. He's still playing. That's the top three. Belfour is at number 4. Curtis Joseph rounds out the top 5. Cujo.
Former Leaf.
Cujo, former
boy.
Leaf. Terry Sawchuk's still hanging out there, hey? He's 7th all time. Isn't that crazy? That there's still goalies from like the 20s who can still stand on the list, because you'd think, I mean, goalies have changed so much.
I think
Yeah,
it's
well, the game's
Fleury's name's up
changed.
there too now. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Fleury's 8th.
Yeah, okay.
Luongo.
Luongo's 3rd.
Yeah,
and he's
so
still playing,
he's-
but he's not going to get to
No,
Patrick Waugh,
no.
right?
Definitely
He's-
not.
He's less than 100 away, but I don't think so.
He's kind of getting to that point where
Yeah.
it's starting to fall off the rails. He's still a great goalie, but hanging out in Florida, they're not having the best. Of
And he's not
years.
even the
Could be a little
starter.
better.
The starter there. He's like fringe, right?
I think they have a 1A, 1B system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're kind
'Cause
of
it's
flipping
Jim
him.
Reimer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim
the boy.
Reimer.
Jim Reimer, the tandem.
Optimus Rhyme.
The ultimate tandem goalie. Wherever he goes, he's part of a tandem.
Yeah.
Every time he's the number 1 dog, just ooh. Game 7 against Boston, 2013.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
PTSD, bro. Don't bring that back.
PTSD. There's a guy on this list named Gump Worsley. I just have to say that. Imagine
Yeah.
naming your kid Gump.
I know who that is. I think he played for the Habs.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
Ooh, Zach, you gotta know that.
I
Gump.
don't even know who Gump is.
23rd
I'm sorry
all-time.
about that.
So
Oh,
Carey
well.
Price is 29th, man. And he's for example, 10 back of being 27th. So he's going to climb the list. Where do you guys think he could end up? I mean, do you think he'll get to top 10 all time?
I think he'll
Yes.
get top 10 on an 8-year deal. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta,
I guarantee it.
You think he'll get to top?
I think
he'll pass?
he can get to
Patrick
top
Waugh?
5.
He can get to top 5. He can get to Waugh if the Habs properly put together a team.
So Waugh's at 551, and he did it in 1,000 games, just over 1,000 games played. Carey Price has 600 games played, and he's at 315. So he's kind of on pace.
Yeah.
If he keeps playing.
And think about it. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, he had a shortened season, and also he had just a horrible season in general, where he only won like 10 games, lost around 30-ish or 40. But
That's a big part of it. The
and
team
you
needs to
think-
start waking up too, right?
And even
And
he didn't have
injuries.
a great year. So you take out the injuries in those down years, all of a sudden his win-loss ratio is absurd, and he's definitely on pace for guys like Patrick Waugh. It's just the little hiccups here and there, blips we're talking about. And if he keeps on pace, then yeah, especially over a course of 8 years. 8 years can change a whole lot with the goalie.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to start moving through hockey
Yeah.
faster because we've got a ton of football to get through.
Right.
Ovechkin hit 1,200 points and Gino hit 1,000, which I think is pretty sick.
I'm a
That's
big
huge.
fan of Gino Malkin. Yeah, it's a crazy accomplishment, obviously. He's 200 points behind Ovechkin, which kind of surprised me a bit. I thought he was more on pace with him. But no, he's had a terrific career, and obviously 3 Stanley Cups helps you get into the Hall of Fame as well. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, and also I was a Penguins fan, or still kind of am a Penguins fan, so I like him a lot.
They went 1-2 in the draft, right?
Yeah, 1-2.
Yeah.
I saw something on Instagram. And it was like, who would you rather pick now, Ovechkin
I
or Malkin?
know.
I was like, Ovechkin still.
I saw that.
Come on now. To be fair, Malkin has kind of been in Crosby's shadow, but there was a playoff run where he wasn't there, where Crosby was injured, I believe, and the guy got like over a point per game. Malkin's, I believe, over a point per game for his playoff career. So when the time comes, he balls out. He just goes hard. But having Crosby always kind of ahead of you, you had phases with Jordan Staal when he was pretty good. He hasn't had the opportunity to catch up to Ovechkin, but still a stud.
You guys know how many 100-point seasons Malkin's had? Take a guess.
One.
No.
Nope.
He's lost one to the lockout,
Right.
and I think he probably did really well when Crosby was injured.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 3.
Good
I
guess.
say 4.
3.
3?
Damn.
No, he's had. I mean, he's gotten close like a lot of times. He had a 98 points one year. So, but you guys think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
of
No,
course,
but
yeah.
sorry, not Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer. I think so. He's got 1,000 points in 800
The three
games. 840 games.
rings definitely helps.
I think he'll go second ballot. If you look at the guys who will be in his class,
Who's
That's
going to
true.
be who's going to be in the
Ovechkin.
class?
Ovechkin.
Well, if they retire at the same time, but probably Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Sid?
Sid. Well, I think Sid probably goes in. Well, he's obviously first ballot,
First ballot,
but he'll
yeah.
be.
I'd imagine all 3 of those guys go out at the same time.
If they do, I think they all should be on the first ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are all first ballot. So make it like that's all the thing with the Hall of Fame. If they're all worth being on the first ballot, put them all on the first ballot,
Yeah.
right? So absolutely, Malkin and Ovechkin first ballots for me, and it's crazy because I think Malkin could easily be a stud first line center on another team, any team.
Yeah, big shout out to Evgeni Malkin for
No
sure for
kidding.
sticking with Sidney Crosby throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
He obviously prioritizes winning and having success long term on a winning team.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be that. Like, I guess he wants to be that star, but he is that star in Pittsburgh still. They look
Absolutely.
at both of them, Sidney Crosby and Evgeni Malkin. If one didn't have the other, they would not be winning 3 Stanley Cups. They would not be winning back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got 2 Art Rosses and a Hart.
And he should have a couple more Conn Smites. Like, he's had incredible playoff runs
Think
as
about
well.
he kind of has like not second line minutes, like 1.5, like he's that kind of because he's
It's
on
the
the
same as
first line power
the
play.
Tavares Matthews.
Exactly. So you can say his minutes are even diminished slightly, not too much, but definitely could have a lot more to work with too. But he prioritized winning, and it's been happening. That's why the NHL is the superior league. Superstars sticking together. So
Only some of them.
only some, but guys like that. It's an example of okay, these guys were successful. They took it's like Crosby took a team friendly cap hit.
Yeah.
Just a well-run organization.
Maybe the Leafs could learn from that.
Exactly.
Although at the time it wasn't that friendly.
No, it wasn't. It was
Right.
like 15% of the
And
cap.
Malkin makes 9.5. It's not like his is some friendly deal either.
Yeah.
Did he sign after?
But if
he
you
signed
compare it to
after.
teams like
Yeah.
the Leafs, then it looks pretty nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, from one team-friendly athlete to another, hopefully, if he's actually injured or not injured and willing to go to AAA, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Ooh.
Yes.
has a left oblique strain. He's out
Yeah.
for 3 weeks. What do you think? Is that actually legit or?
I think it's legit. It just I don't know if they're I see where you're coming from, where they might use it as a ploy to keep him down. But injuries happen all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if this just a bad coincidence. You just hope he gets back into the swing of things because he's not playing in spring training anymore, and you always want that development, to kind of warm up into the season. So they want to play Guerrero 24/7 during spring training, you'd think. So I think if you look at it from that perspective, it's a real injury.
I think they'll start him in AAA and then
Yeah.
have him work up again. for the first month of the season until his contract stuff works, and then he'll be on the Jays again.
Is it bad that as a Jays fan, I'm actually kind of happy he got injured, so
No,
that
it's
people
not
can
bad.
people can stop talking about how he has to come up? It's like, okay, he's hurt, he can't play, guys. So shut up and let him play in AAA for a while. Because the reality is, how good is his glove? Everyone's been talking about his bat. Can he play third base? Does anyone know that? Right?
No, he's pretty thick. I don't know how like fast he can side to side. Like
he weighed in at 250.
250.
250.
You might
monster.
want to lose some
He's
weight.
a big boy.
Did you see him run down the first baseline like after hitting like an infield?
but
He was run fast for someone who weighs 250 pounds. Could be faster though.
Did you see he was running home as well? He made that dive at home plate
I don't think I did
in like
see
the
that.
first spring training game. That was like his first run of the spring. But no, like even before his injury, they weren't playing him 24/7. So I think the Jays are seriously they're trying to make the best case possible to start him in AAA.
Absolutely.
This injury, I think it's legit still. I don't think they're just gonna say like, okay, Vladdy's injured, he's not gonna play.
It's a great cop out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
I
It's
think
perfect.
I think the timeline might be a bit off, might be a bit wrong, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, he's gonna start in AAA now. That's like for sure. He's not gonna come off the DL and go straight to the majors. It's a perfect situation for the Jays.
Yeah.
You know, I think like again, we wrote like an article about like there's two sides to the equation, but most signs point to him staying in AAA. And like we were saying, Leafs, like the organization must be like, thank God he got injured. Maybe it was like even a slight injury, like nothing severe, but like he's injured, guys, so get off our backs.
Yeah. It's a
'Cause-
perfect situation for the Jays, as you just said. The perfect situation for the Jays fans is $5 beer.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I'm so excited for $5 beer.
They're trying to get people to the ballpark. It's basically saying like, yeah, our team's gonna be not that great,
So
but
get the beer goggles on and
so come to Rogers Center, get
Yeah.
trashed, and just watch some baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
You can watch Marcus Stroman opening night,
There
which
you
was
go.
just announced.
Opening afternoon.
Afternoon.
Who are they playing?
Detroit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Did you see the
Tigers,
pictures
yeah.
of what he did to his dog?
Is that true?
Yes.
Is it?
Oh, I saw that.
Do you know,
I saw
what
it.
would be the reasoning behind that?
It's so
Is it-
they do it to make the ears spike
yeah.
as opposed to flop, which is what the dog.
Is that like
But
to make the
usually-
dog look cool, or is that
Usually they
like,
tape
it's just an
them.
It's
aesthetic
just
thing?
Stroman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's an
It's an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
That's
It's an aesthetic thing.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, no,
I
but
know.
people usually tape them back. That's what like.
they usually glue them to the head.
Yeah, exactly. You see that where they don't chop them off.
It's
not
also-
like a
Dude, imagine
thing.
It's
the
illegal
dog,
in
man, like-
it's illegal in Toronto right now, like in Ontario.
So that's why he
Oh.
lives in Florida.
He had to no, like he had to go
Yeah.
if he had the dog in Canada, he has to go to Quebec to do it.
I think the dog lives with him in Tampa, right? So I don't know what the laws against animal cutting off ears is down there in Florida. Probably not much because
Yeah,
it's Florida.
probably
but
nothing.
I would go ahead and assume that that's probably not a great look for Stroman.
It was pretty brutal.
I would like to see him talk about it because again, I saw it on Reddit and we were talking about Zach. I don't. It doesn't seem like it'd be true. And if it was true, why wouldn't he talk about it and like?
Dude, I
explain
don't even
it?
know if I want him to talk about
Has
it.
he
The way
even
he's been
been
on Twitter
asked about it?
recently.
yeah, he's
I would hope he's been asked. I
I
would
wa-
hope someone asked.
I want him shipped out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
at
what
the
you've been
trade
saying for a
deadline.
while now.
He seems like
He doesn't seem like a good person.
I've always been on Team Stroman because there's so much potential there. He can have a great season, and he's a great embodiment of the quote unquote the six, you could say.
Is he though, or is it a
think-
facade? Because he's not from
That's
here.
what he's
No,
saying.
I think he likes the fact that it's like Drake culture and he embodies that. So he basically like I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
He's
but
got number 6 on the back
basically
of his jersey.
embodied it himself. He
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of that, so he embodied it.
He got the Toronto skyline on his tattooed.
He's
like,
really
yeah.
good at marketing. I
He's-
think is what
he's
it
good at
comes
marketing
down to.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
But over the past couple of months, he's been kind of a plague. I'd seen like a lot of
Yeah.
talk's been on Stroman, and he called out Tim and Sid for they
you guys see
basically
that?
yeah.
I
You
didn't see
So
that.
basically, they showed. Remember his tweet where he was like, "I'm so frustrated that veterans aren't getting signed."
Yeah, like
So-
his rage on Twitter.
Yeah, and so Tim and Sid posted the tweet. And he's like, "What are your thoughts on this? Like, Marcus Stroman's pretty frustrated. Which veteran should be signed to the league?" And then Stroman's like, "Wow, you guys be having a really boring Monday to call me frustrated. I'm not frustrated."
I
blah,
saw
blah, blah.
that,
And just-
yeah.
he's flaming Tim and Sid out of all people. Like, come on.
Yeah, like they work for Sportsnet. You're on the same payroll. Settle down. They're not going to
Yeah.
criticize you.
And
They
he's
don't.
and then Tim's like, "No, we weren't saying you were like frustrated per se. We're just creating a conversation topic because we're like relaying the question to the viewers. We weren't roasting you at all. So calm down."
It's tough. It's a tough situation for the Jays' new manager too, right? Charlie Monteau. He's a rookie manager. He's never really been in Toronto or anything. He has no real past affiliation with Toronto. He's going to come in here, and now he's got to deal with this. So his first move is to give him opening day starter.
Stroman would have been pissed if he was not named opening
he didn't
day
really have a
starter.
choice
Exactly.
in the matter
So you
at this
got
point.
to absolutely, you got to give it to him. And I think it's a smart move. But if Stroman's having a bad year, you can't really call the guy anymore.
Oh, yeah.
This is his last time to quote unquote prove himself, because he's had that inconsistency throughout his career.
He's had a good spring. He's had a really good spring. Him and Aaron Sanchez as well.
Absolutely.
I know we got to get into some football
Yeah,
here.
we got to get to football.
Stroman's had a good spring. I'm really liking him on opening day. He's a good pitcher in my opinion still. But yeah, like you said, Zach, if he's not pitching well, get him out of town.
He's hyping himself up right now, so he better come through.
You can sell him for something too.
We have some breaking news.
Oh, breaking news. Okay.
Out of MLS, Nico Gaitan is heading to Chicago Fire. He's a former Benfica star.
Yeah.
Argentinian. He's played for the national team. Pretty big addition for Chicago, joining Bastian Schweinsteiger. I like it.
Schweiny.
But from that signing onto football, Le'Veon Bell to the Jets.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that? I thought that was really weird.
I feel like it was called for the entire time, though. Jets were always on the radar. So when I heard that he actually went to the Jets, I wasn't surprised. They kind of need a running back, and in a competitive AFC East, they need a guy like Bell to even compete with teams like the Patriots, who might be starting to slow down.
I just don't like the salary. 4 years at $52.5 million, and he held out for a full season.
So he's the second highest paid running back still, though, in the entire
league. He should be
league.
number one if he holds out for an entire season.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, but that's probably what diminished his price as well. He did not play an
He
entire
hasn't competed
season.
in a while.
Yeah,
He also turned down a better contract from the Steelers.
I saw that, and I was surprised by that, but that might have something to do with another trade that just happened. Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. He went to, where was it? It was Oakland. Yeah.
For a third and a fifth.
He and Derek Carr.
Literally nothing. A third and a fifth.
I actually really like that trade from
Third and a
Oakland's
fifth, it's
perspective.
different, though, in football, the picks.
Oh, it's way different.
It matters a lot, but considering they traded Amari Cooper for a first-round pick, to get Antonio Brown for a third and a fifth, that's pretty good kind of management there.
It's a really good replacement.
Exactly. I want to see what he does with Gruden. That's going to be interesting. I want to see what he does with Derek Carr, because Derek Carr, he had his ups and downs. He got his money, and now he's kind of up and down. I'd love to see what Antonio Brown could do with Derek Carr, and if he can improve Derek Carr.
Oh, he should.
Yeah.
I think
he gives him an actual target now.
A proper high-end, top-tier
That's
target.
the biggest part of the deal is, I think, the Derek Carr aspect, because he had a great year, and he broke his leg. He's really fallen off. He's been up and down. You need a guy like AB just to get him going again, because if he can reach that peak status, that elite status that everyone's gunning after, then all of a sudden it's a different story. Antonio Brown looks really good in an Oakland uniform.
How about the Odell Beckham Jr. joining Cleveland?
I was shocked.
That's going to be crazy.
That came out of nowhere, because they just signed him, did he not? And they got a signing bonus and all that.
Clearly, the Giants are just ready to move on and rebuild.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was getting frustrating in the locker room, because they signed him, and then there was quotes saying, "Yeah, we're not signing him just to trade him." And then 2 weeks later, they trade him.
Yeah.
But sources were saying that he was just becoming a cancerous part of the locker room. He was becoming frustrating, and then it was getting to the kind of the tipping point, and they had to do something about it. If that's true or not, who knows? But seems to be a character thing more than anything.
That Cleveland offense is going to be unbelievable.
That's the best wide receiver duo in the league.
And they got the best running backs in the league, too.
One of the best running back duos when Kareem Hunt gets there.
Yeah,
Hunt and
Chubb.
Chubb.
Oh, man.
Baker Mayfield has got some weapons. No more excuses for him.
Njoku at tight end.
Yeah, I like him too. And you look at the defensive line. We were talking about that earlier. Great defensive line.
They just picked up Sheldon Richardson from Minnesota.
And Vernon, and they already have Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Olivier Vernon as well. Yeah, Myles Garrett on the opposite side of that defensive end.
I don't know about you guys, but I have huge expectations for Baker Mayfield especially, because you look at guys in their second years in this league. Goff, playoffs. Mahomes, playoffs, MVP. Wilson, I think he won Super Bowl in his second year, I want to say. And Wentz obviously was on a great pace for MVP till he got hurt. You look at all those guys, that is the tier that Baker Mayfield needs to be a part of. He was the first overall pick, right? So
Yeah.
go out there and deliver. No more excuses. You got everything you wanted.
The thing is, can they be coached properly, though?
Who is their coach?
Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens is the guy Baker Mayfield wanted, by all accounts.
Yeah.
He's kind of, and the young guys on the team kind of gravitated towards. So,
But he's kind of, I guess you say, a rookie. His first full season is about to happen in the 2019 season. Is that right? Is that correct?
Yeah, he's got a lot
And
to
then
prove as
he's
well.
got a lot to prove, especially with all these guys. Does he know the systems well enough? Does he know how to coach a game properly enough? So that's a question we have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Another team that made a ton of acquisitions, Detroit Lions, who I know Aiden's a fan of.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
talk about the Lions for days. Jeez. So they made 4 major signings, all on Monday. Arguably the biggest free agent on the market, Trey Flowers.
Yeah,
He's
that's
going.
huge.
He's going to the Lions. Ex New England Patriot.
Yeah.
He used to play for Matt Patricia as well, who's now the coach of the Detroit Lions. So obviously, boom, big move there. Improves their defensive line for sure with already good D tackles. They got Damon Snacks Harrison. They picked him up last year. They also got Ashawn Robinson, who they drafted a couple years ago in the 2nd round. Other moves, they signed Jesse James from the Steelers. You guys probably remember him from that controversial call last season. He's a tight end. He's signed for 5 years. That's also a good signing. Another depth wide receiver signing, Danny Amendola, another ex-Patriot.
Love Amendola.
Amendola's a great little player.
Yeah, and he said he's in the best shape of his life as well. At 34, I believe.
I mean, I would hope he's probably not going to say if he's in the worst shape of his career.
Well, he's definitely not going to
but-
say that. But for him to even say it,
It must mean something.
yeah.
Probably learned from Tom Brady.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Took on the same diet.
Yeah.
And then the other last signing was Justin Coleman, cornerback. He played for the Seahawks. Pretty good nickel corner for them. I think he's ranked 3rd amongst nickel cornerbacks last season. And he's young as well. So yeah, I like what the Lions are doing. They're not really a team that would make those big moves. They're not known for that. But they cleared up a ton of cap space heading into Monday. And they had, I think, $40 million in cap space. And they used it very wisely. And I think they got about 20 left.
There you go.
So they're not done yet.
What are your expectations for Matt Patricia now in his 2nd year after all these moves?
Expectations, you got to make the playoffs for sure.
You think?
Chicago, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions can compete with them. The Vikings, they had a down year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Packers, they made some moves.
They're kind of still in weird kind of limbo territory.
Yeah.
What's Rodgers going to do? Hopefully good. What's their coaching looking like?
They made some moves on defense yesterday. So that's obviously
that'll help.
it's looking a lot better.
They made some additions, absolutely.
Dude, I'm just looking at the NFL Instagram. There's so much that's happening.
There's another trade today.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots got Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
oh,
that's
yeah, that's
huge.
good,
for
When did
nothing
that
again.
happen?
Yeah, Trevor Austin going to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Jaguars released Blake Bortles.
Yeah, because they brought
Bortles.
in
Yeah.
Nick
Bortles.
Foles,
That's a crazy
Yeah.
one.
which
yeah.
is
And
Foles got his money.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the Chargers got Tyrod Taylor. So
Earl Thomas going to the Ravens. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Earl
Yeah, that's a
Thomas
big
is
one.
Mark Ingram
stud.
going to the
I thought he was
Yeah.
rumored. I saw originally he was rumored to go to the Browns.
Yeah, that would have been nuts.
that would
eh?
have been nuts.
They would have been set.
That was all smoke, though, I think.
really.
Honestly, I bet that was all smoke because there's no way Dorsey, the GM of the Browns, I just don't think he would be able to make it work with all the other ego in that room. I mean, you've got,
I agree with that.
right, you've already got ego coming in from like 6 different areas. Jarvis Landry, Baker, Sheldon Richardson isn't a quiet guy, Myles Garrett, right?
Mm-hmm.
OBJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Right?
biggest
That's
one.
the biggest one.
Yeah.
So Kareem Hunt even
Yeah,
got a lot
Oh
of
my, yeah, Kareem Hunt. Who knows if he's gonna even be ready for
and
the
he'll be a
season.
distraction, you'd think, on the Browns at least at
Yeah.
the beginning after all he's been through. And so you get Earl Thomas isn't exactly the quietest guy ever. I think that was smoke. But hey, good for him to go to the Ravens, go to a rival now of the Browns.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
A
fun year.
No kidding.
I'll say that.
couple other moves. Landon Collins went to Washington.
Yeah.
That was big. Lions were in talks with him as well, but obviously picking up Trey Flowers, you
Yep.
can't really get Collins.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was
I like Deshaun Jackson
Something.
as a player.
I like him on the Eagles.
He fits with the Eagles,
Yeah.
doesn't he? He looks good in an Eagles jersey. He just works.
yeah.
Whatever it is.
What else do we have? Bills signed Frank Gore.
Yeah. Old
Depth.
man Gore.
They also got Cole Beasley.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
And
Cole
they picked
Beasley.
up another wide receiver as well. I forget his name though, but yeah, Beasley and someone else. in the
Antonio
same
Brown?
group.
Oh wait, no. He
Ooh.
didn't. Oh, ooh.
They had to
Too soon.
find that Cole Beasley replacement for Brown, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that was the replacement. Sorry, guys, we didn't get AB. He didn't want to come here, but
We got Beasley.
we got Beasley instead. We got another B. We got a
Everyone
killer
loves
B.
the Cowboys.
Exactly.
He had that one good catch in the first week of the 2017 season, I think.
Speaking of the
Oh,
Cowboys,
yeah.
what did the Cowboys do? Not a whole lot.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They've been
Trevor
pretty quiet.
Austin, baby.
Trevor Austin.
Or Tavon Austin, my bad.
Tavon.
Oh, wait,
Tavon.
it's Tavon. Yeah,
Tavon.
Tavon. Austin.
Tavon.
Tavon, Tavon, whatever.
Trevor, yeah.
Uh,
Same thing. Austin.
yeah,
Austin.
I know. I don't really follow the Cowboys that much.
Me neither, but hey, I mean, when you look at the most viable team in sports, it's just there's such a polarizing team, right, in football, because their owner's nuts. Jerry Jones, they got a huge arena. They're the biggest team in the NFL just by money, and you always expect them to do something. So when they're quiet, it's like, whoa.
Their
what?
move might have been just the Amari Cooper thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it probably was what it was.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You already made your move, right?
It's like
We
the Leafs
had-
with Muzzin. Kind
Exactly.
Yeah. Terrell Suggs went to the Cardinals. I don't know if we mentioned that already.
That's a big one.
Yeah, long time Baltimore Raven.
Yeah. Chiefs signed Matthew and released Eric Berry. So
Yeah,
five-time Pro
that's
Bowler.
kind of a lateral move there. I think that Tyrann Matthews a real good player. Eric Berry had issues, right?
And injury problems.
And
I
a lot
think
of injuries.
he
So
played 3 games the past 3 seasons.
yeah,
Oh yeah. That's
so he
pretty bad.
can't. What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. And finally, Joe Flacco went to the Broncos for
Oh, my
2019
God.
fourth.
I'll tell you what, my Broncos, man. I'll tell you what. Being a Broncos fan is tough because they went from Peyton Manning to, Brock Osweiler for a bit, Trevor Siemian, so basically crap, and then Joe Flacco, who is an quote-unquote elite quarterback, but man, just draft one. You had the 5th overall pick, you get another D lineman. Here you got Von Miller. You get, okay, great. You got another D lineman. They could have gotten Josh Rosen. They could have traded up or traded down for Sam Darnold. They could have made a lot of moves, and they decided to stand pat and take another D lineman. How did it look last year? Not good. And now this year, it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be a carbon copy of last year. They got Joe Flacco. Great, you got Joe Flacco for what, a year, and then what? You're gonna find the next
Yeah, I
Joe
don't
Flacco.
know. I don't know why they did it, really.
They're in limbo. In the NFL, you have to build around a quarterback. You
Yeah.
can't build around Joe Flacco.
Yeah, when you're talking about the draft, I can kind of relate and the quarterback situation, like, there's been a lot of talks about, is Matthew Stafford the right guy in Detroit? And I
Right.
know a lot of people, even in our program, they just hate Matthew Stafford. They don't don't think that he's a good quarterback. He's got a great arm. He hasn't proven anything, though. He's got a lot of talent, just hasn't gotten the success. I think now they actually have a team. They have a good coach, Patricia. They got a lot of guys from the Patriots that know how to win. They got a good O-line. They got good receivers. Galladay, Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions stepped it up a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
And they're I don't think
stepped up in the
I don't-
offseason.
A lot
I
of
don't-
help from the Patriots, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, they're
There you
called
go.
the Detroit Patriots, basically, now.
basically. But like, I don't think they're quite there. They're like maybe one piece away, but huge improvements, and I'm excited to see what they do.
They're on the clock, right?
They
the
have-
Lions
yeah.
are now on the clock.
They have
Yeah.
the 8th overall pick. Speaking of on the clock, they're on the clock
There
at
you
number
go.
8.
They could do a lot with that pick. You think they'll keep it?
Yeah, so I was having this discussion, and before they signed Jesse James, I was thinking, okay, at number 8, they're going to take a tight end because they don't have a tight end, and there's this guy named TJ Hawkinson.
Right.
If you have heard about him, he's pretty good. But again, you don't want to really take a tight end at 8. So then they signed Jesse James, and I'm just like, okay. I was kind of hyped for Hawkinson. Now it's like, okay, what else can they take now? They're probably going to take a linebacker. I think Devin White. He's one of the fastest linebackers in the draft. He's projected top 5, so hopefully he slips to 8. I don't see the Lions trading up. If anything, I think they can trade down. I don't see them trading up. I don't think they're one of the teams to do that. They were aggressive in free agency. I don't know if they'll be as aggressive in the draft. You never know, but I hope they take Devin White. He's a great linebacker, and that linebacker, they're set because they got Jared Davis and Devin Kennard. So that's going to be a really good linebacker core for the Lions. Like I said, D-line, they're set. They might need a cornerback, safety later on in the draft. Offensively, really, I don't see them needing anything else. Maybe a guard. That's it.
It's an interesting division, that one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a team, like, look at Minnesota.
Right.
They were great 2 seasons ago. Last season, what happened to them? They just got Kirk Cousins. You thought they were going to be Super Bowl contending, but
Yeah.
no.
I think we have to move on from football for a little bit because we still got to get NBA, and we forgot to talk about the Ryerson stuff.
Oh, geez,
so
okay.
We're gonna grind this.
first person we were trying to have on the show, Nicole Pozazorski. She was named to the All-Rookie team for OUA Women's Hockey. Ryerson athletes were named Erica Krause was named Rookie of the Year. Crescenda Green named second team All-Star, and Erica Kraus was named a first team All-Star.
Good for them.
First all-rookie All-Star, not first team. What am I saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Did you guys hear about the name change downtown?
The BioSteel thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the OVO Athletics Center.
just heard
OVO
it,
changed
yeah.
from BioSteel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, I guess.
Good
Cool.
for Drake.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for Drake, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of those things like it's cool today and then you move on. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, it's not BioSteel
It could be
anymore.
a bust.
What is this?
It could be a bust. They might change
It's
it.
just, it's just a
next
training.
Year.
It's just a training facility. It's not like it matters too much. But like it just again embodies the whole 6.
Well, it shows that
All right.
Drake has a huge partnership with the Raptors.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's trying to be an owner one day.
Unfortunately, though, Serge Ibaka will not be playing for the next 3 days because he got in a bit of a fight
Yeah.
for the 4th time in his career.
Man, that's like the one game I didn't watch. And
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was.
and I was
he-
like, damn, I missed that.
I thought 3 games was fair. Yeah.
That's
he,
pretty much what everyone thought he was going to
He
get.
threw a punch. He choked the guy.
Chris got suspended 1 game, and I was thinking, why did he get suspended 1 game?
He threw a punch. That's why.
In self-defense, if Serge Ibaka is just coming at you, he
He's
just starts
still-
throwing hands. Like, what are you gonna do? Just like get down and like you cover your head, lie down.
Still got to give
like,
him a game, though.
Yeah, they still have to give him a game.
I
'cause he
guess,
threw
like,
Throw a
punch.
punch, you get a
it's-
game.
I know, but it's just one of those things where it's unfortunate because he wouldn't have thrown a punch if Ibaka didn't charge at him. Obviously, it's just what are you gonna do? Just back down and lay on your stomach? No.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
I would
we
do
sh-
the same for sure.
Yeah,
But
I think we should
one game.
finish off with just after talking about assault with the Conor McGregor assault
Oh, yeah.
because I don't know if anyone's seen this.
Yeah.
He was arrested for assaulting a fan's phone.
Yeah.
They
By
made it sound
breaking
way
it?
worse than it was though. They were like strong arm, no, it's not like
Yeah,
a strong
strong-
robbery
Strong arm
and
robbery, yeah.
yeah, strong armed robbery and something else. But he literally just aggressively took someone's phone and smashed it. So
Was there a video released of this?
Yeah,
yet?
I'm trying to see some video here.
no, not at least I don't think so right now.
No.
But yeah, they made it sound way worse. Like, of course, smashing someone's phone's not a good look.
Why did he do it?
It probably frustrated him. That guy's a loose cannon.
He's slowly going downhill.
Yeah, he's...
Like the whole bus incident,
yeah.
and then
And then losing to Khabib.
Yeah, the Khabib whole
and
thing.
the Khabib fight afterward.
Yeah.
like, in the stands, and now this.
It's almost like he's just a tabloid star now. It's a
Yeah.
shame because he had such a bright future.
He was such a good fighter.
Ever
Right?
since that Mayweather fight.
and he could have just had such a long, great career.
I think
and
he could
he's
still
just-
turn it around if he's able
I
to
absolutely think he
market
will turn it
himself
around.
right, but he's got to get through this stuff first.
Tough phase for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we have less than a minute left, so I want to thank you two guys for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having
It
us.
was
Yeah.
a
Thanks,
ton
boys.
of
An
fun.
honor.
I watched this thing on YouTube called Hot Ones,
Yeah.
and they do a thing where they give the two guests or whatever 30 seconds to just shout out whatever they want.
Okay.
So I figured we could do the same thing
All right.
in the last 30 seconds, starting in 3 seconds, 2, 1, and it's you.
All right, so the Finch and the Pharaohs live Fridays at 5 on Spirit Live. Same channel as this. We also got some stuff with a potential television network at Ryerson, but we can't talk about too much because it's kind of in the works, so hopefully we can get that going. And Jackson, take it away.
Obviously, the Finch and the Pharaoh Fries at 5. We appreciate you guys having us on. We wrote a Vladdy article. Check it
Yeah, we
out.
did.
But overall, just thank you so much for having us, guys. I hope we can do this again in the future.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the SS Live. We're going to take you out to
Leafs
some
victory
music.
song, even though they lost last night.
Yeah. And good night.